welcome back with our special guest today, Dale White, director of the float pool, which is, it's not a new concept at BRMC. It's kind of a, it has a rebirth going.
Right.
Because the need is now there.
Right.
So, Dale, we were talking during the break that we're kind of growing our own here. And you touched on earlier the RN residency program. Can you expand some of how we're growing our own through the community, through the ASU Mountain Home and through BRMC and the RN residency program?
Well, we're very fortunate. I mean, just with the nursing programs alone, there's 4 in the area, and there's 3 of them anyway that I'm aware of that have students that come through and do clinicals here at the hospital. And so beyond that, then there's a residency program, which is beyond. You know, doctors go and do residencies after school. And I think there's 1 of 3 in the state that offers hospitals that offer residencies, and that's a tremendous program. I think we're looking at taking something like 20 nurse residents on in the next cycle,
which is wonderful. And they need that. You know, thank goodness we've got the experienced nurses there that take them under their wing, and I know that there's more actual school time, so to speak, but with the clinicals that they're doing with the experienced nurses, directors, and other nurses on the floors, it's awesome.
You could almost do a whole show on that. It's been phenomenally successful and a huge investment on the part of the hospital and nurses. And conversely, then we get strong nurses that hopefully are going to stay with the hospital for a long time. They've had very good retention rates.
Right.
But we look at, there's the Nurse Aid Scholarship Program that's ongoing. There's information on the job site about that. The hospital is very strong about giving assistance to people as they get advanced degrees beyond the nursing. There's scholarship
program,
opportunities through the foundation for that. And then we see we're going to restart a tech program. So if you've had a year of nursing school, it's a little higher rate of pay, but you're able to do a lot more as a nurse's assistant in sort of preparation to become a nurse, and I'm excited. That's something that we're adding back in, and we'll have a couple of those available. And so the idea is that people progress. We're even seeing some patient companions that are interested in starting there and then becoming nurse aide and then going on to nursing school. And that's it. You have to be more patient, just like growing your own garden. You know, the vegetables are always much better out of your own garden than they are from somewhere else. This is going to be probably our greatest recruitment tool over time for nurses, and then BRMC is investing a lot in it. I mean, it's really, I think, worked good and is growing and expanding.
And we're so delighted that that's happening, and as you say, I like the analogy of the garden. It's perfect because we're growing our own vegetables, and they are primo. They're no GMO, no.
Right, exactly right.
They're all gluten-free.
Organic.
Yeah, they're all organic.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, and a lot of excitement. And for nurses themselves, I mean, if you're in a position where you can help bring folks up through the programs and the education process, it's also very good for you. I mean, I never learn so much as when I go out, and I have had students with me, whether they were nursing students or nurse residents, because they're all constantly challenging you to your thinking and why do we do it that way, and you got to go back and read up on some stuff that you could use.
Makes a better you.
Go look up policies and standards and stuff, and so everybody, all ships rise.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You're absolutely correct. And you want to be just a step ahead, maybe, of the students.
Right.
Information. Gosh, I haven't read that in a few years, huh?
Exactly right.
And things may have changed. They may be taught somewhat different than.
Healthcare is changing so rapidly. I mean, the changes that have occurred in the 30-some years that I've been in is just, we were cutting edge, at the time.
30 years ago, you bet.
And now it's just in 10 or 20 years, what we'll be able to do is just mind-boggling. We spend a lot of time talking about money in healthcare. If we spend as much time talking about the advances, I mean, there's so much exciting news with advancements.
Just the equipment that I've seen in the going on 10 years that I've been at the hospital, I cannot believe I can't imagine what will be available in 5 years. I mean, it's developing so quickly. It's getting approved so quickly because the response is the need is huge. But you know, we've got our lung screening equipment, we've got our 3D tomosynthesis, and those are just, and all sorts of bedside equipment. I think every time my husband came into the ICU, there was something new there. So it's like, wow. You almost have to be a chemist too, I think, with, but there's so many fail-safes.
The roles for nurses have really, that's one of the things with that thing that happened with The View, you know, where the reporter were making fun of nurses. The roles of nurses, and we should do a better job of educating the public. You really have to be well educated and constantly keeping up in order to be an effective bedside nurse.
And you just said it perfectly, because that was one of the things that I thought that's the goal of our BRMC's Healthy Connection show, is to educate the public. I think sometimes people, okay, that person went to school, they became a nurse, and that's it. I mean, there's education that is necessary, required to keep your license and everything else, day in, day out, year in, year out. And as we talked about, there's always new technology to learn.
Right.
So
we've come a long ways from the days where, you know, you had to go get a doctor to come defibrillate a patient, where now we've got advanced cardiac life support, and you have nurses that are running the codes in the absence of doctors. You've got paramedics that are intubating patients out in the field, and starting, it's grown a lot. And so we got some catching up to do with the public, but I'm very proud, outside of being a husband and father, the proudest thing I've ever done is to become a registered nurse. Very proud to be part of this organization.
And I know that it shows in your nursing skills each and every time. I know that it does, so personally know it. So I thank you for your incredible skills and for staying on top of them and being such picking such a wonderful, it really is something that you just have to wrap your heart around to be a nurse. Yeah. So, and I am so glad you could join me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I want to hear more about the float pool as it grows. And I want to remind our guests, www.baxterregional.org, and that's where they can go and find all sorts of things. That's our website. That's also where all the job postings are. And it's just are they posted any place else for you that you know of? You've got...
Well, if they contact Human Resources, they can point them in some directions. I know there's some web posting. We've done some advertisement in the area.
Yeah, a
but
little bit.
You can always go in to the BRMC site. If you do a Google search or whatever for BRMC careers, it'll direct you right to that spot.
It'll get you right there, right where you need to be.
It's a user-friendly site. So. But if you have questions, call Human Resources for sure. Tara there will direct you.
Yes, she will. Tara does an awesome job for us. So come back and see us again real soon, okay? All right. So thank you for joining us today for BRMC's Healthy Connections.